Supporting 2 Drink Minimum through the Amazon link is the next step in the evolution.
Celebrity voice impersonating.
Party people in the place to be. What's going on? It's me, impromptu movie review time of 10 Cloverleaf Lane. Yes, it's an impromptu thing because I went to go run some errands, and one of the errands involving Storm, my car, took longer than I thought it was going to. They quoted me a couple hours and happened to be right next to a movie theater, and it was early enough for me to get in for less than $10, so fuck it. I went to go see a movie, and the only thing that was playing at the time that even remotely looked good was that. It would have been Deadpool, except it wasn't playing at that point. I would have gone and seen Deadpool twice. But yeah, 10 Cloverfield Lane, didn't know it was PG-13 until I'd already bought the ticket. And you know what? I'm fine with that. It was alright for PG-13. Like, it didn't need to be R. Like, they did, everything was psychological, really, or most of it was a thriller, was psychological stuff. There were some gruesome parts, and they were fine. They fit the tone of the movie. It didn't need to be like. I'm a big proponent of R movies when they deserve to be R movies, and PG-13 when they deserve to be PG-13 movies. This one deserved to be a PG-13 movie and was still effective as a PG-13 movie. Now, as much as I curse like a fucking sailor, and I hate it when I see horror movies that are PG-13 and shit. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? Because they're like, we want to get Skylar and Timmy to watch it too. Make a better movie and let the adults fucking watch it. This was a good movie. PG-13 rating on it was absolutely fine. It worked as far as telling the story that they were going to tell. Excuse my hand. Now, the story that they were telling, I didn't see the first Cloverleaf. I'd seen some reviews of it online. I heard it was fucking terrible. It didn't interest me when it first came out, and actually 10 Cloverfield Lane interested me a little bit more, but not enough for me to actively go out and fucking see it. If it wasn't playing, if it wasn't the one movie that looked anything close to anything like I might want to see at that particular time, at that particular theater playing, I probably wouldn't have seen it. Like if Deadpool had started an hour earlier, I probably would have seen that again. But yeah, it was fine. You got John Goodman. I stayed for the chick's name. Mary Elizabeth Winstead, I think was her name, and this dude who, I can't recall his name, but I could have sworn he was Private Dancer on Scrubs. I looked at him, I'm like, was he Private Dancer on Scrubs? I think that motherfucker was Private Dancer on Scrubs. No, I didn't look it up. So the trailer gives away the part of the movie where, she gets abducted or pulled into this underground bunker, and she thinks she needs to escape, and then the other guy there is like, no, I was trying to get in. Yeah, that gives that away. So the first probably 20 minutes or so of the movie, the tension or whatever, doesn't really work for me, only because I knew that according to the trailer, she was supposed to be safer in the bunker than out of the bunker. So I feel like that's a problem. You fucking movie studios need to do better with these goddamn trailers. You need to not have so many. You need to have like one trailer. You really just need to have one trailer and like a truncated version for like small 30-second spots or 15-second spots on the radio or whatever the fuck. It needs to all be incarnations of that one goddamn trailer. You don't need multiples, and you don't need to bring out more of them the closer you get to the fucking movie. And they need to be good, and they need to not give away the fucking story. They need to give away enough of the story to get us interested, and nothing more. If any of the story at all. If at all. Fucking the Hateful Eight didn't give me any of the fucking story. The teaser trailers and shit like that didn't give me shit about the or it gave me just enough for me to be I want to go see that, right? If you got a star-studded cast, just give me the names of the cat, and I'm like, all right, I'm in. Directed by, okay, I'm in. Anyway, the trailers gave away a significant part of the beginning of the movie, but the beginning of the movie plays all right. At the very beginning, this is a trailer version, by the way. At the very beginning, Mary Elizabeth is leaving an apartment. Obviously ending a relationship. We don't know anything about the relationship or anything like that. She's just kind of running. And I don't know if we're supposed to know anything about it. From a storytelling perspective, I feel like that wasn't necessary. That felt like time waster. You know what I mean? And they kind of start off with these kind of fake tension building, not jump scares, but almost jump scares, like false alarms for jump scares in the very beginning. Like they play this ominous music and she's desperate to leave the house, and who knows why she's trying to leave the house. She's looking out the window and you think, oh, the monsters or whatever from Cloverfield are right outside. No, she's just trying to get away from her boyfriend that we don't know why she's trying to get away from. We don't know that he's abusive, that they fought, whatever. She's just trying to get away from him, and leaves the keys and gets out before he gets home. And she goes to a gas station, and there are lights on a big truck that stop and get gas right in front of her, but she keeps pumping gas. Like all these stupid kind of tension wasting shit for like the first 10 minutes before she gets into the bunker. Like she's driving down the road and the phone rings, and then I'm like, is that supposed to be ominous? But it's her fucking iPhone ringing, and she talks to her boyfriend Ben, or no, he talks to her, and then she hangs up. Stupid whatever things I don't care about. So she gets to a car wreck, and it's loud. There are parts in it that are loud. They're loud noise is what happens sometimes in this movie. Just to be noisy. And the car wreck is noisy, and then it mutes to see 10 Cloverfield, and then it comes back up, and then it mutes again. And it comes back up. Alright, yeah, I've seen that device before. Okay. Let's get to the meat of this. You know what I mean? I was kind of like, let's move this along. Finally gets in the bunker. She's chained up. She's scared. And again, this would have played better had I not heard the fucking trailer on the radio or seen the trailer on TV or in front of a YouTube video. I'm fucking throwing that shit away. Okay, yeah, but I know she's safe. The tension of her trying to escape, I know better, right? And the trailer doesn't really convey John Goodman's character the way the movie actually wants him conveyed, and that is that he's a little bit off kilter. It doesn't convey him that way in the trailer, and it probably should have for me to feel more off kilter about what the hell was going on, but I didn't, because I felt like she was, especially after the dude was like, I'm trying to get in, not trying to get out. Like, alright, then she's, yeah, it's where she was supposed to be, at least at the time. Now, as we progress in the movie, we see that John Goodman is off kilter, as many doomsday preppers are, the stereotype that they're apt to be. I personally, here's my thing about doomsday prepping. I do feel like there's some pragmatism in it. Pragmatism? Pragmatism. I feel like there's some pragmatism in it, in that, like some bad shit could go down. Like, it's not completely out of the fucking question that some really bad shit could go down. Canada could fucking turn south, and you idiots could be stupid enough to elect Donald Trump president, and Canada could be like, that's the last straw. Fuck you, America. Like, that could. I'm not, saying that can't fucking happen. But listen, most of the people who are actually down to actually do all the things that would need to be done to secure your shit, are a little bit off. You know what I mean? To be able to be that fixated on building an underground bunker and sealing it and concrete walls and shit. And so he comes off very, very like that, and very controlling and all this other stuff. So the other guy that's in there apparently helped build the bunker, and he, for the most part, while this whole thing is going down, she's trying to figure out ways out. She's trying to figure out clues as to, like, John Goodman keeps mentioning Meg, I think was her name or whatever, as his daughter, and then she finds a picture where it doesn't look like she's his daughter, like, and the guy tells her, oh no, my little sister went to high school with her, that wasn't his daughter, so it's almost like he abducted her and then did away with her or whatever. So there's this whole psychological thing of, Michelle is the chick's name, that gets dragged into the bunker. This whole thing about her not trusting him and then possibly trusting him. There's even a little montage of the three of them working together to fix up the little bunker. Yeah, but he's super controlling and tells them not to touch each other and all this other stuff. Not explaining. And here's one of his biggest things. He doesn't explain things well, does John Goodman, to this obviously scared chick. He doesn't explain, hey, there are aliens outside. He doesn't explain, hey, maybe you shouldn't get romantically involved with the other dude here if for no other reason than because we can barely support 3 people here and we need to be down here for a year or 2. Don't need you getting knocked up and building more supplies, you know, and spending more supplies and stuff like that. You know, he doesn't really get into the logistics of all that, and he probably should have. So she gets suspicious. She finds the picture. John Goodman blows his top a couple times. She tries to escape. One of the times she tries to escape, there's a woman outside who her skin is peeling off, and she's trying to get into the bunker, and Michelle's about to let her in, and John Goodman's like, don't you dare let her in, and it's the air. The air is contaminated, John Goodman says. Except the air, and all the time I'm like, is it? Probably not, right? And so there are a couple times where like she almost escapes and comes back, and she needs to fix the air filtration system, and she sees help written on the glass at the top of the thing, and there's an earring down there, and the earring belongs to the chick in the picture who's not Meg. And so the whole time she's piecing this together, and she's piecing this together with the other dude that's not John Goodman in there. I'm like, I don't necessarily trust him, but turns out I could trust him. John Goodman finds out they're in cahoots. John Goodman asks them what the hell's going on in front of a vat of fucking acid. Yes, the human version of the Dip from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. And the guy takes the bullet for Michelle, and John Goodman's like, okay, well, that's it, and shoots him in the head. Shoots him in the head. Just bang, shoots him in the... shit, shoots him. I see that shit on TV all the time, like Sons of Anarchy, where the guy's just in there. Bang! Always fucking gets me. I'm like, shit! Was not expecting that. And, shoots him in the head. So, the whole time she's trying to build this hazmat suit to try to escape and see what the hell is out there, see if there's more survivors. He shoots the homeboy in the head. She gets some separation by trying to build his trust again. And it's almost like he's ready to, like, okay, I've got another chick to abduct, and she breaks away, and she breaks away. There's this big scene where she's breaking away, and John Goodman is chasing her, and she dips over the dip, and he's fallen into the dip, and I'm like, oh, he's dead, right? Because he's inhaling that shit, but no, he's still there, and follows her to where she gets the hazmat suit, and then back out, and meanwhile, the dip is so corrosive that it lights the electric devices in the house on fire, because they have a generator. That's how they have electric devices. And so the house is on fire. John Goodman is trying to chase her. He's saying, no. She escapes through the air hatch in her hazmat suit, and finds out that the air is not toxic because she sees birds, right? So she sees birds. She's trying to escape, maybe see if there's more life. Turns out there are aliens right there waiting for motherfuckers, and I gotta make this quick because I got a fucking strike, so it's gotta be 15 minutes or less. There are birds right there, yada yada yada. The aliens are chasing her. Looks like she's gonna get got multiple fucking times. The aliens open her fucking hazmat suit after they drop some sort of mist down on the ground, and I'm like, did the mist dissipate that quickly? Like, that's my issue with that. The mist seemed to dissipate a little bit too fucking quickly. And this big dramatic scene where she's trying to run, and everywhere she runs there are fucking aliens there, and all of a sudden she becomes Miss Badass, just fucking out of nowhere, right? Even though she even admits in the movie that she's run her entire life. She becomes Miss Badass, and there's a bottle of some sort of liqueur in her car that she threw in there before she left, and she folds up a Thomas guide, makes a makeshift Molotov cocktail, throws it in the alien's mouth, or the alien catches on fucking fire and drops her. They picked her up in a truck, drops her from the fucking truck. She survives, gets into the car of the lady that tried to stop her or try to get into the hatch before, drives off, hears a radio signal saying, hey, we need help out in Houston, and then drives off to Houston. The last part where she became Miss Badass was fairly unbelievable. In my opinion, they probably should have killed her off. Out of my $15, it wasn't bad. I'm feeling generous. Let's call it 10. It was fairly good and worked with the PG-13 rating. Party people, tell me what you think down there in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe. That's it. Bye.
Suplex City, bitch. Suplex City, Suplex City, bitch. Suplex Suplex City, girl.